Okay, this is Zarek Leader on Gemmy Master Animatronics, and today I'm going to show just a modification I'm doing to this one Rock Santa. Of course, for all the people that see this and haven't seen it before on the channel, or mine at least, I'm going to make a tiny retrospective. So the first time I went to Kevin's house, he gave me two of these, and they were dead. One would move back and forth, but not play music, and the other one would just make a buzzing sound. The thing is that out of mixing both circuit boards, I got one to work, but in the short time, it died. And it was unfixable. I don't know why. The thing just entirely died. And, you know, it just wasn't, it would just overheat. That's the thing I mainly remember about it. So I was really mad. I was like, God damn it. These things are still fucking good, yet the chip is dead, so I can't do anything on them. I can't. I can just have them as static displays because I don't have anything to to make it go back and forth, back and forth. And I actually had two or three choices to to go through before I would have to do this, which is the topic of the video. The thing is that first thing I thought I could do would be program in an Arduino or in a Polalu board the Jingle Bell Rock tune and just have the motor go back and forth and everything. Problem for that, I don't know programming, and at the same time, I don't have any experience, and I'm really afraid of buying something that will just not be what I need. So I was just like, okay, you know what? Fuck it. I'm not gonna go by that. The other thing that I thought was look for a chip that has that motion. None. I have no chip that does this motion where it goes back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. So that one was discarded from the start. The third option was, hey, I could probably make some kind of mechanical direction changer, something like, I don't know, like a gearbox that spins. It has like a shaft, and there's prongs, so it automatically changes directions. And I would put two small relays, so it would change from one direction to the other. And that one was like, okay, yeah, that's good, but it first of all, it won't fit in one of the boots probably. And second out of all is what happens again. Motors are unpredictable, so you cannot just have a motor like that controlling the time of the time it's switching polarities and everything. I just didn't see that one with a really confident view. So what I ended up doing is this. I ended up going hardcore mechanical on this thing. So you guys, of course, know, whoever took apart a Rock Santa collectible knows that it's supposed to have a large gear with a gear that touches in between these two um, pieces right here, right? And it's supposed to make it, dance and everything whenever it goes one direction, the other direction. But I wanted to do something like Jimmy did, where they made that one single direction spinning knob and everything back in the late 90s. So what did I do? I 3D printed this like kind of a spinning knob, and it's just the top area. And this is the original gear. Before, there used to be a large gear here as well, but as I said, it's that I had to get rid of that, because if not, it would just um how's it called? It would hit with the legs and do what it's supposed to do normally, but I don't want that. I want this to constantly spin. So what I ended up doing is, after a few tests, one with a peg in the lower spot, one in the peg with a higher spot, I came up with this one, which isn't the best, but it's what's gonna have. And at the same time, of course, that just fell. I will have to do a lot of modifications to it still, because it's not only getting rid of this gear, it's also getting rid of this entire structure right here, because you just can't have a shaft. First of all, you can't have a shaft going through a lever. That's just gonna jam everything up. Second out of all, uh, this would hit against the thing, because this is actually supposed to it's supposed to be it's supposed to connect here. So the only way the Santa Claus is gonna know, or basically the upper half is going to be connected to the bottom half is by the back plate. The back plate won't have any alterations or anything, but the front plate will. So the front plate will no longer be connected. So, but again, even like that, it's pretty tough. I personally tried forcing it to see if it would go out of sync or something. Nothing. This is tough. Absolutely tough. So I don't see this thing breaking anytime soon from there. So what I'm going to have to do is remove all of this. Now the original shaft went through here, went through this holder, and it goes through the core of the body, and it finishes in the leg block, as I call it, the piece that has the legs and the two springs. I am debating on if I should remove the spring or not. Sometimes, especially with these Gemmy Santas, they have a spring on the side, and that's probably because there will be a certain side that's going to move either slower or faster. I'm not really sure how that works, but I know there's going to be a side that's going to do, it's going to go slow like this fast, slow like this fast, and it's classic. So I'm thinking I could probably leave this or adapt it to, to kind of give it a faster movement to the one side it's slow. The original shaft is right here, and I'm thinking of putting that one. I even made a mark so I know where to cut it, and probably put a little tutor or something. Basically what I want to do is, glue this to the leg piece, either to the leg piece or to this main, section, so the thing is 90 degrees straight, and it doesn't, the gear doesn't grind or anything, because the gear will grind. But what I'm trying right now, I'm trying to get with another one that already has a pre-made nail thing. So what I'm basically doing is this. I put this like that, and at first I tried with this one, which was my very first attempt, and I tried it with this one. It somehow worked, but once again, this one was far too, the peg was far too far from the middle, and it would actually jam up because it's not, it's far from the reach, it's far after the limit. So I ended up doing one in not the center, but almost the center. And I was like, okay, maybe this one will work. I don't know. I'm not really sure. A little deformed because of the printer, but... And then I made this one, which is a little bit far, but not that far as the other one. And it seemed to work just fine. So, again, I made this one first. It would hit against this. So I was like, no, I'm not going to do that. So I ended up making this one, which already has a closed end, so it doesn't get flexion or anything. And it actually has a pretty generous opening, a pretty generous gap, so it goes through here and doesn't jam anything. So the result, basically, you put this, you snap this onto here. Of course, it's going to have to be either glued or screwed. I'm going to have to see that the second this thing is done. But what you basically have right now is a hip swinger that has been, a mechanism that used to be for a side-to-side motor, a double polarity motor, and now you transformed it, you recycled it, and you transformed it into a continuous lever motor. And as I said, I had a really big fixation with this mechanism because it's far too good. These things are really well made, and I was like, no, I don't want to put a stupid yellow gearbox on the back and try to build up some kind of stupid ass thing or rig something stupid that doesn't involve the original mechanism, because to be honest, it's what it is and I like it. I'm gonna probably have to do a few more updates to the STL file before I print, like by example maybe making a chamfer over here, because this kind of hits against this, so maybe for it not to hit, and I'll probably have to round these edges, so when I get rid of this and I close the body, it's not going to hit against anything, because I have the feeling it's going to hit against something. I just have that feeling. Anyways, so let me connect it to the jack, and here's what I have so far. As you guys see, it constantly spins to one direction, but, it hip swings, just like it's supposed to, with the two-directional motor. Of course. What is the advantage of this? The advantage is, of course, you can put any chip you want Okay, I have a chip that sings White Christmas that would probably be nice for this one, but I'm keeping it for something else because Kevin gave it to me, so I was like, yeah, I don't need it, and I'm like, okay, but I'm keeping that one for that one Christmas tree he's giving me. It's a plush one. But you can actually either make it go continuously, because as I said, these motors are super reliable. That's why oh shit. That's why I really didn't want to get to this point where I would have to take everything out and put something else. Because as I said, the motor, it's a Mabuchi cassette player motor. It's beautiful. It's an amazing motor. The structure of the Santa Claus is perfect. The thing is, there's nothing wrong with it or anything. There was nothing wrong. And the only thing it had that was wrong was the stupid circuit board. So it's like, come on, just a stupid, shitty electronic issue. I can't get a replacement circuit board. And I know for a fact there's already two under my name. There's one from Daniel that Daniel wants to send me at some point. And there's one that Jordan bought me on mistake, which is at Kevin's. So I have two, Rock Santas that work fine, and I have two that are dead. So I'm thinking, hey, maybe I can retrofit these with some other shitty parts, some 3D printed parts, to make it work another way, but still doing what it's supposed to do and still being as reliable as it can be. So this is me outcome, as they would say. This is me outcome. Again, this is going to have to be glued at some point. And I'm going to see if I do a third or a fourth piece with some slight modifications. Maybe this a little bit shorter and maybe a screw hole in the middle so I can put a screw or something. Maybe here either super glue or I'll drill a hole and put a screw or something. But yeah, that's practically all that I have. So there we go. That's a clever way of modifying your Rock Santa if the circuitry is bad. Anyways, that's practically it. So more updates coming soon. Oh, it didn't stop recording. Damn it.